In a remarkable comeback, Donald Trump winning the presidency once again. Only the second president in history to retake the Oval Office after losing re-election 4 years earlier.
And joining us now is ABC News Deputy Political Director Averi Harper. Averi, this was an impressive and decisive victory for former President Trump. What does this exit polling tell us about why the night went his way?
Right. I thought one thing that stuck out to me about the exit polling was the discontent that there was around the economy. When asked about the condition of the economy, a third of respondents said that the economy was good or excellent, and 2/3 said it was poor. To me, that was an early signal that it was going to be a good night for former President Trump. He really did lean into an economic message when out on the campaign trail. And though the vice president does not make policy and inflation has cooled, I think a lot of voters tied her really closely to the Biden administration on that.
So, Averi, there's always second guessing when you lose. What are the big questions that Harris's campaign will be asking themselves in the days and weeks ahead?
Right. I think the Harris campaign might be asking themselves if they were able to deliver a clear enough economic message. Were they just asking voters to cast votes against Trump instead of for them? I think there will also be a question of if President Biden stepped aside early enough to allow her to mount a challenge to Trump. I think those are a couple of things that they'll be asking today.
You know, the other thing we're looking at, Republicans won a majority in the Senate, but we still don't know who will control the House. What's the latest there?
Right. We see that Democrats have 190 seats in the House and Republicans have 204. The magic number is 218. So whoever gets control of the House will be critical to Trump's ability to enact his bold agenda. If Republicans have control, he'll be able to really sail through. And if Democrats have control of the House, they will really be a check on the president's power and also the Senate, which is going to be controlled by Republicans.
And Averi, before you go, when do we expect to hear from Vice President Harris, and what do we think we'll hear from her?
Right, we're expecting to see her speak at Howard University this afternoon and to offer a concession speech. You know, I am really interested to see exactly what she's going to say, because she really did frame former President Trump as a threat to democracy. And so I'm interested to see if there is some sort of switch up today in her message. Is she going to offer an optimistic message, telling folks to keep on pushing for the change that they're looking for?
And an even bigger question, what's the transition going to look like in the days and weeks ahead?
Right. We know that former President Trump and now President-elect Trump really avoided having conversations about a transition. He was entirely focused on the campaign, but there will be a cabinet to complete and lots of political appointments. And so there is a transition that is underway. One thing that I think is a sure bet is that the folks who are going to be in those positions are going to be loyalists to former President Trump.
So how much of a big point do you think the president-elect will have to make when it comes to unifying the country, bringing so many people together, especially when it seems like we're more divided than ever now?
Well, look, he is leading when it comes to the popular vote. And so I think he is going to use that as runway to enact his agenda. The former president, now the president-elect, had promised things like mass deportations, imposing tariffs on all imported goods, and has questioned whether or not he would remain committed to our NATO allies. Those are all things that he might feel like he can push through now that he has had a real decisive victory when it comes to the popular vote of the American people.
Averi, I have to ask you, because, you know, nobody had an idea how it was all going to shake out last night. But when you were watching the results come in, what surprised you the most?
Listen, I can't say that I was surprised by much last night. When we looked at the battleground states, every single poll that we saw, our 538 polling averages, showed a real close race, something that was going to be won on a razor's edge. And that's why even this afternoon, we still haven't been able to call a few of those battleground states, Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, all still too close to call at this point. And so both of these campaigns knew it wasn't a slam dunk, and everyone went into last night not knowing what was going to happen.
All right, Averi Harper, again, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And a special thanks to our very own Eva for your reporting in Washington. We'll see you back here in New York on tomorrow.